Imagine standing alone in the freezing mountains of Russia. The wind is screaming. The temperature is below minus 30 degrees Celsius. There are no roads, no houses, no help. Now imagine cutting your way out of your own tent in the middle of the night and running into the darkness barefoot. That is exactly what 9 experienced hikers appear to have done in February 1959. More than 60 years later, nobody knows exactly why. The story begins with a group of young university students and experienced hikers. Their leader was Igor Dyatlov. The expedition was supposed to be challenging, but not dangerous. The hikers were skilled. They carried proper equipment, and they had completed difficult journeys before. Everything seemed normal, at least in the beginning. In January 1959, the group began their journey through the Ural Mountains. Their goal was simple: cross the snowy wilderness, reach their destination, then return home. Friends and family expected to hear from them within weeks, but those messages never arrived. Days passed. Then more days. Silence. No letters, no radio contact, no sign of the hikers. Families became worried. Soon, search teams were sent into the mountains. Nobody expected the discovery they were about to make. After days of searching, rescuers finally found the group's tent. It stood alone on a snowy slope, partially buried by snow. At first glance, it looked abandoned. But when investigators looked closer, they noticed something strange. The tent had been cut open from the inside, not from outside, inside, as if the hikers were desperate to escape. Even stranger, their boots were still inside. Their jackets were still inside. Many of their supplies remained untouched. Why would experienced hikers leave their shelter during a deadly winter night? And why would they leave without proper clothing? The mystery was only beginning. Investigators followed footprints leading away from the tent. Some footprints belonged to people wearing socks. Some appeared barefoot. The tracks disappeared into the darkness of a nearby forest. The search team followed them, and what they found next would shock the entire country. Deep inside the forest, searchers found the first 2 bodies. The hikers were lying beneath a large cedar tree. They were wearing very little clothing. Despite the freezing temperatures, evidence showed they had tried to start a fire. Nearby branches were broken high above the ground, as if someone had climbed the tree. But why? What were they trying to see or escape from? The mystery became even stranger. Between the cedar tree and the abandoned tent, investigators found 3 more bodies. These hikers appear to have been trying to return to camp, step by step, meter by meter, fighting the freezing cold. But they never made it. Something had forced them out of their shelter, and now 5 members of the expedition were dead. Months passed. Winter continued to bury the mountains under deep snow. The remaining 4 hikers were still missing. Search teams refused to give up. Then, in May 1959, they finally found them, hidden beneath several meters of snow inside a ravine. What investigators discovered shocked everyone. Unlike the first victims, these hikers had severe injuries. One suffered a fractured skull. Others had massive chest injuries. According to investigators, the force of the injuries was similar to a powerful car crash. Yet there were very few external wounds, no signs of a typical fight, no evidence of another group attacking them. The injuries made no sense. And then came the details that would make the case famous around the world. One victim was missing her tongue. Others were missing soft tissue around the eyes. Rumors spread quickly. People began to imagine horrifying explanations. But investigators could not agree on what had happened. The questions only grew larger. Newspapers reported the story across the Soviet Union. Speculation exploded. Some blamed secret military experiments. Others believed the hikers had witnessed something they were never supposed to see. Witnesses in the region even reported strange lights in the sky around the same time. Were these reports connected or merely a coincidence? More than 60 years later, nobody knows exactly what happened. Some blame an avalanche, others blame extreme weather. Some believe there is more to the story. But the questions remain. Why was the tent cut from the inside? Why did the hikers flee into the freezing night? And what really happened on that mountain? Perhaps we will never know. The Dyatlov Pass mystery remains unsolved, and the mountain still keeps its secrets. What do you think happened? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe to the Midnight Archives for more real mysteries.